Since 2016, Texas Trees has been working to reimagine the Southwestern Medical District. Our focus has been on human health, which is very fitting because we have some world-class hospitals in that district. And we want to make sure what we did was certainly consistent and in line with their philosophy. And so this is not just a simple landscape plan that we're bringing to Dallas. This is a major, new, innovative approach to combining human health and outdoors landscaping and urban planning. So we have, in those intervening 9 years, have managed to create a public-private partnership with a very bold vision, and that's to transform Harry Hines into a tree-lined corridor, which is a 2-mile stretch of, right now, one of Dallas's worst heat islands. Transform that 2-mile stretch into a green corridor with a new park right at the center of Inwood and Harry Hines. It's a very meaningful undertaking for the city of Dallas. And we are here today to announce that we have just received a $25 million grant from the state of Texas to further this cause, and we're so happy about that. And we want to celebrate the wonderful people in the state legislature who helped us do this, because we could not have done it without them, for sure. And we almost couldn't do it with them. It's pretty hard to get that done. But it was well, wonderful. So I especially want to thank our two lead people, which are Senator Royce West and Representative Rafael Anchia. They were totally behind this project and turned their staff loose and made our lives easier. Although I do remember in Rafael's office, somebody said that, well, you wouldn't believe how many people come down to Austin and expect us to do all the work. They said, you guys are down here every week meeting with people and helping us. And so I guess it was both of us, but I'm telling you, they definitely did a great job on our behalf down there. They're joined by, I haven't seen these people show up, but they were also we were very much helped by Senator Tan Parker, Representative Morgan Meyer, and Representative Andy Chin Button, and Representative Venton Jones. And Venton Jones is here. So they're the champions of the project who saw the vision, and they deserve our gratitude and they deserve our applause. So to get into a little more detail, this $25 million investment from the state is an endorsement of the Southwestern Medical District Transformation Project, which in total comprises a total of $200 million of funding to get the project done for the entire district. It encompasses, like I said, 2 linear miles and 48 acres of land in the heart of this heat island. And when you consider the cross streets that pass through the district, we've had experts evaluate the impact that this plan implementation is going to have on the economic development of the district, and it's $1.6 billion, and that wasn't our number. That was a number that an expert pulled out, so it's very, very meaningful. And I think that economic development, when we first met with Royce, you know, we were coming at it more from an environmental posture, and he said you know, there's a lot of people who don't care much about that in the state legislature, but if you can talk about economic development. So we did this study. We found out that it's going to increase the tax base quite substantially, and I think between that and the overall love that people have for the district was what got us through this. It shows that you can combine, I think our forward-thinking plan shows that you can combine economic development with human health and environment, and they're not necessarily a conflict. Now, we've got another 5 years or 4 years to prove this to you, but we think the end result is gonna produce just that. So I'm proud to stand with Texas Trees Foundation and with all of you who are bringing this bold vision to life. And now it is my great honor to introduce a true champion of the project, Senator Royce West.
I want to say good afternoon to each and every one of you. Raphael, is it July the 21st yet? Not yet, okay. Yeah, that went over most of your heads. We had to report back to duty on July 21st. I've had the pleasure of representing the 23rd Senatorial District, this pretty much city of Dallas, for the past 32 years. And I've got a lot of lessons learned as a result of going down to Austin. The most valuable lesson is how to put yourself in the best position possible to get things done. And the way that you do that is to pull together the different interests involved in a particular project. Obviously, Dan made a compelling argument about this particular project. Jeanette there, and they sold it. They talked about the health aspect, the environmental aspect. And yes, I said we better make sure we put some economic development in there. Knowing, Jesse, what we needed to do in order to try to bring together Democrats and Republicans that support this particular area to make certain we all work together in order to get it done. It's not a Royce West project. This is a Dallas, this is a North Texas delegation project, where all of us came together and used our relative influence in order to get it done. Did I make certain moves? Yes, I did. But those moves weren't just made by me. For you, you've got to understand there's a House and there's a Senate. And the House will have its way, as well as the Senate will have its way, and then obviously we've got to be able to convince the middle office, the governor's office, of the merit of a project. And that merit of the project and the leadership, be it with Dan Patrick, Governor Patrick, or Speaker Burrows, you helped us to make the case for having people back home to advocate for the project, talk about the merits of the project, and be consistent in doing it, and not taking maybe for an answer, helped us be in a good position in order to get this done. And so I stand here today wanting to make certain that you understand and appreciate this was a North Central Texas delegation victory. And it tells you that if you send the right people down, they can work together. Now there'll be some visceral issues, vouchers, things like that. But there are more issues that we have in common than that divides us. This is one of the issues that all of us want to make certain, Dan, Jeanette, that it did in fact come to fruition. So I just want to say I'm glad to be here, and I don't want to go back to Austin, but I guess I gotta go. Thank you very much. David?
Oh, me? Sparky. Thank you for the introduction. Thanks. Glad to be with you today. I'm David Bigler. I chair the entity known as the Southwestern Medical District. And my role is to perhaps put it into context, how this fits into the district plan. 3 million patients each year, think about that, 3 million make a visit to one of the 3 major institutions, that is UT Southwestern, Parkland, and Children's Health. Not only is it going to grow significantly, you've all heard of the new expansion of Children's Health to be one of the largest children's hospitals in the country. some time ago, this goes back 15 years, the three major institutions got together and decided to collaborate in the work to, basically, the easiest way to describe it is to transform the entire district into the environment that the patients' families, the 35,000 employees who work there, but importantly, the city of Dallas and the region and the state. It's 1,000 acres. I would argue it's one of the more important or most important 1,000 acres in Dallas and in North Texas. You think about the healthcare that goes there, but the context I want to put behind it, because a lot of people in Dallas, even though they know it exists, they forget this. It's the confluence and the focus of clinical care, of research, and of education. A lot of people don't realize that 40% of the physicians who work in Dallas graduated from UT Southwestern, and almost all of them, all of them did some, if not most, of their residency and internship at one of those three facilities. In addition to those, today, to put a exclamation point on the collaboration, Texas Women's University, Texas Tech, UT Dallas, and the state of Texas in its new hospital on Harry Hines, all are now part of the district. So what happened is 15 years ago, the master plan was created, and frankly, it somewhat stalled. And we were fortunate enough to link up with Texas Trees. And Texas Trees and we were so closely aligned in the vision because Harry Hines isn't just a transformation of Harry Hines, it is the critical linchpin. It is the artery, no pun intended, going through the middle of the district. You can't make the district be what it needs to be without the transformation of what used to be a state highway into a boulevard that people want to walk on, bicycle on, and just spend time on because their loved one is in the hospital. That takes vision and it takes collaboration, and we are so fortunate that we linked up, and I wanted to thank Texas Trees for that today on behalf of all of the institutions that are in the medical district. But I also really wanted to be here today because Texas Trees, maybe that's new friends. I'm so old, my old friends are real old, go back a long ways. And Royce and Raphael and I have known each other, it seems like forever. And for them to be part of the championship of this means a lot to me, but it means a lot to people because I was speaking earlier, the endorsement of the state behind the transformation, not just of Harry Hines, but of the medical district, speaks wonders and gobs to those others who need to join in and support this project. Because without that imprimatur, without that endorsement, it becomes more and more difficult. So I'm here to say thank you, not just on behalf of the hospitals, not just on behalf of all of those patients, but on all of the people in this region and in this state who rely on it for healthcare and for the advancement of medical research. So thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is State Representative Benton Jones, and I have the honor and privilege of not only representing some of the areas that overlap with the medical district with both Senator West as well as Representative Anchia, but I also serve as the chairman of the Dallas delegation. And I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you to everyone in the room for whatever piece you had in making sure that this project was able to come to life. We know that there was so much work that went into this project, not only through the funding that was made available, but for everything that has been done since this project started, I believe in 2015, to raise the necessary $198 million to make this project come to life. And so as we talk about just the importance of having strong leadership, I want to do this because I do this every time I have a chance to go after or before Representatives, and particularly Representative Chia and also Senator West, is just to say how grateful I am to them, not only as a newer lawmaker, this is my second term, but also as a lifelong constituent of the city of Dallas. One of my first jobs, well, actually, my first job, that was after Papados, but my first professional job was at UT Southwestern in the professional building, which actually has already been knocked down for the work that's been happening. So when we look at parking, the ability to improve modalities, all of these different conversations that we're having, these are not only things that I experienced in this area as a lawmaker and who has the honor of representing this area, these are the things that I have experienced as a resident, as an employee of this area. And it is so important, the work that is taking place, because we have to continue to do the work necessary to continue to make Dallas a place where people can truly live, work, and play. And this project is definitely continuing to put us on the road to being that for North Texas. And so I just want to say how grateful I am of being able to work with members of the legislature to be able to make that happen and to be able to make this $25 million grant possible. Outside of that, I'm just going to be very brief and just really express my appreciation and my excitement for this project. If my office can be helpful in any kind of way, anyone who's worked on this project know that I'm only a phone call away. And like I said, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And so with that, I am going to introduce Representative Anchia, who will come up and have remarks and give us next steps. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Rafael Anchia, State Representative for District 103, and I have the extreme good fortune of partnering with Representative Venton Jones in representing this area. We are really fortunate to have a veteran delegation of incredibly effective legislators, anchored by the guy I call Big Poppy over here, Royce West. I cannot emphasize enough, ladies and gentlemen, as President Kennedy once said, things don't just happen. Things are made to happen. And getting $1 million in the state legislature is hard. Getting $5 million in the state legislature is a big deal. And getting $25 million from the state legislature is something I have not seen before for a single project. So this celebration, this acknowledgement is well warranted. When Senator West and Representative Jones and I got together at the beginning of the session, we knew this was going to be a heavy lift. We met in your office, Senator. We talked about strategy, about how to position the project, about who to get involved in the advocacy effort. And the advocacy effort on the legislative side included our Republican colleagues, Morgan Meyer, Angie Chen Button on the House side, Tan Parker on the Senate side. They were very, very important to this. And even though they're not here today, I want to give them a well-earned shout out. The other person who deserves a lot of credit here, ladies and gentlemen, there are actually two people, and they both sit on the Appropriations Committee in the House. And the first one is Tony Rose. And I gotta tell you, Tony Rose, in a very unheralded way, is our secret weapon up here in Dallas when it comes to appropriations items on the House side. If Tony places her imprimatur on a project, it gets funded. And so I would be remiss without giving her the flowers that she deserves on this and every other effort, whether it's the Southern Gateway Park, every other effort where we get a lot of money out of the state legislature. Tony Rose is at the center of that. The other person I want to shout out is a colleague whom none of you have ever heard of. His name is Armando Wale. Armando is a state representative from Houston. And Armando is the subcommittee chair on appropriations over parks, okay? So without Armando Wale blessing this project and this investment, it would not have happened. And both Representative Jones and I have a very close relationship. And as you know, the legislative process is about two very important things. One, senators leverage, and you do things to develop leverage in the process, as both you and I had to do to bring this project to fruition. And the second thing is relationships. And developing those relationships over the course of, in the senator's case, decades, in my case, 22 years in the legislature, are very, very helpful. And when you do good things for people, 1 session, 2 sessions, 3 sessions ago, they remember. And when you ask them for something, they remember. And that came to fruition here today. I learned about this project because I have the extreme good fortune of serving on the Hoblitzel Foundation Board of Directors. I see Katie here. They made a huge mistake by putting me on this Board of Directors because it's essentially a lifetime appointment, and I've been doing it now for, gosh, 15 years, Katie. And Texas Trees came and presented this, and after hearing the pitch from Texas Trees, I said, we have to go all in on this. This is gonna be transformational for the medical district, for Northwest Dallas, for this entire area. And I was struck by the impacts of the heat island dynamics in the medical district. When the presenters put up the heat map, and then showed us the patterns of prevailing wind into places like North Oak Cliff where I live, places like the Park Cities where Morgan Meyer lives, up into Bluffview, you realize that this just isn't about this place. It is about the entirety of the surrounding communities in Dallas, because if temperatures get to 180 degrees here on the asphalt, Councilwoman, as you know, and then prevailing winds carry that wind, that heat into our communities, it makes us all less well off, and it impacts all of our quality of life. So by dampening the heat impact of this place, it's going to help all of the surrounding areas, and that is some of the case that we made down in Austin. The last thing I'll say is I love events like this, Councilman Moreno, because it brings together really the luminaries of Dallas, David Beegler, Clay Jenkins, and many, many others, people who, through philanthropy, through elected public service, and through the private sector, all work together, Wendy, good to see you, to make sure that that Dallas is a great place. And we are the envy, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas is the envy of virtually every other community in the state of Texas, because we get it, we understand how all those things work together. And when we work together, we achieve great things. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, your participation today. For all of you who had a big piece of this or a little piece of this, because it's the little things that make a big difference in people's lives, I thank you.
You can peel me off the ceiling. I am so excited today, and I am so grateful. And we are here today because of the extraordinary leadership, the legislative, the civic, the philanthropic, that recognize both the urgency and the opportunity to transform an outdated transportation corridor and urban heat island into a safer and healthier and more resilient district. To our elected champions, Senator Royce West, Representative Anchia, and all of the legislative leaders who co-signed and supported this effort, we extend our deepest, deepest gratitude for your unwavering leadership. To our institutional partners who have been there with us the whole way, David Beegler has been the guiding light, the Northern Star, to get us to where we are today within the district. The Children's Medical Center, Parkland Health, and UT Southwestern, thank you. The North, and to our other partners, City of Dallas, we couldn't have done it without you, Jesse. How many meetings have you been with us in the neighborhoods surrounding the area, just so we could make sure that it was an inclusive project and nobody was being pushed out. Dallas County, to Dr. Garcia and Judge Jenkins, there you are, thank you. He has been a guiding light, and Dr. Garcia has been really so helpful through these years. This has been a long haul. This didn't start yesterday. This started back in 2015. So I want to thank the city of Dallas and everybody that within the city, our council members who have been very supportive, and even the departments that we work with, Dallas Park and Rec, the transportation department, Gus and Dev have been instrumental in our connection in working with the North Central Texas Council of Governments. Mike Morris has been very, very helpful on this. Our philanthropic supporters and our community advocates, thank you for believing in the power of visionary design, scientific rigor, and meaningful collaboration. To our mighty team, Texas Trees Foundation, Lanny, Abby, and David, would you stand up, please? They're at the back. We have a team of 3, plus Heather, who has done a phenomenal job getting us to where we need to go, creating and moving this $200 million project forward. And it takes a lot of talent, and it takes a lot of support, and I thank the Texas Trees Foundation staff for having. I also want to thank some people that aren't here today and couldn't be here for the dedication at the front end of this project. And that's Dr. Bobby Lyle, that's Lyda Hill. Mary is here. Thank you, Mary McDermott Cook, for her support and friendship. Mayor Rawlings, Adam Madrano, and Wick Allison. And Wick Allison is one, he is no longer with us, but he is one that really helped us launch this to the public. And he believed in this, and I always thought, if Wick believes in it, it's gotta happen. So their trust and support has been really helpful. The vision is realized, and the transformation exemplifies the very best of Dallas and Texas. I want to say some things off record, so Heather, don't get mad. When we went to Austin, and we spent almost 4 days in Austin with meetings. I think we met with over 27 people in Austin to talk about our project, to introduce the project to some. I was amazed. And when I went to Austin, I actually didn't really want to go. I kind of thought, I was discouraged. It was what was happening at the national level. I was trying to keep my opinions to myself, which is hard sometimes. But when I got to Austin, it actually restored my soul of what's happening. What I saw in Austin was not what's happening in DC. And I saw and talked to people that said Senator West and Representative Anchia had the highest integrity, and they were the best people to work with. And here are 2 people that are working hard for Dallas, and their co-workers, their colleagues, I don't care what side of the aisle it was on, never had a bad thing to say. So I spent 4 days walking the halls, trying to heal Heather's feet, because she was getting blisters all over her feet. But I came away from there thinking, I'm glad I'm in Texas. I'm glad I'm working with the state legislators. I'm glad I'm with these leaders, and life will be okay. And then when we got the $25 million, it's like, whoa, life is not just okay, it's awesome. So on behalf of the Texas Trees Foundation, I want to thank all of you, every one of you, for your support. I want to thank you for the credibility that you give to Dallas, that you give to the state of Texas. And I want to thank you for helping us move this project forward. This project is shifting paradigms in how we are designing public right-of-ways for human health. And at some point, I've got to retire, but I'm not going yet, because I got to get this one over the line. And this 25 million will leverage and help us get this project to fruition. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
To make a better photo, let's all go down in front of the podium. Yeah.
There you go.
Who's gonna accept this check? Get on here, put your hands on here.
$25 million from the great state of Texas. County said what?
We talked about leverage, right? County?
County did. Cities here?
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Congratulations. Just a touch.
You know, you'd have to ask
Just
Texas
a trace this way.
They're moving the needle all the time. Not the needle, they're moving what they can. Ask them. Good.
Okay, well, that concludes the press conference. Thank you all for coming very much, and there's still a few drinks, so you can still mingle for a bit. We have this room for a while, so thank you for coming. I didn't know that they were, I would have introduced you if I had known that you all, everybody was going to get up there. I started going, because it was supposed to stay then.
I wasn't expecting you.
I know, but anyway. Yeah, no, I know, but I felt bad that everybody else had the name attached to it. You all right? All right. You will.
This makes this is a big part of a big deal. Yeah. You go back to the history. Oh yeah. Usually $40,000. I remember that.
And I was like,
right. Okay, now what do we do?
It was a special project of the Junior League of Dallas, and Diane was one of the five.
Cynthia Mondell.
Diane Scoville.
Stoller.
Scoville.
Stovall. Hi. How are you?
Hey, Cynthia. I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you, Diane.
See
You doing good?
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Are you just raking in money?
No, we're not raking it. but Dallas is doing what Dallas does.
Good.
Right? Making big things happen for this.
Right, I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry I couldn't. We were trying to arrange a meeting to all get together.
We'll
You
catch
don't
up in the fall.
don't meet with me. I'm already there.
Well, but I do want to talk with you about one of your boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Precious. She's the best. She's the best.
Look at this.
I know.
God, this is beautiful.
And I was nervous because I feel like everywhere I go, every meeting I go to, there's something that not this one. This is going to be premium thing. I mean, once you go, you're going to be like, how are you? So much better.
So how are you involved? I know Jay's involved.
Well, I'm on the tree. Oh, good. And I have been since I was born.
I love trees. I look at their eyes every day.
I didn't realize that it was a junior league project that started.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I was 19 years old. So I never heard of this voice.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, it was like an 80-something. Yeah. Yeah, and it's been, and I mean, you know, it's one of those things, you know how you get into something, you put everything into it, and then 10 years later, somebody else comes along and it doesn't feel that's gone.
This is so going to be so wonderful.
All literally planting the seed and waiting for the tree to grow.
We were downtown, we were doing downtown projects, and then it got, you know, and everybody was kind of, no, it was just that we were trying to get the businesses downtown. And then we started, you know, it was basically,
Because Dallas Park was, you know, there's always
yeah, that's, we had a